Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 3, and today we're dealing with the 2016 Zenvo ST1. Now this is a Danish supercar which debuted in 2009 with production ending in 2016 and only 15 were produced, and now that was either down to the fact they only had a small team so they can only make so many a year, or the demand really wasn't there, which would be no surprise because this is not only the company's first model but they're also unproven, and when you're going up against Ferraris and Lamborghinis, who are obviously more well known and are more respected, then you're going to have a hard time breaking into the supercar market. But it's no doubt got its plus points. It looks a bit unique, though I'm not really a fan of the looks themselves. But yeah, inside, interior wise it's pretty decent. I like the leather stitching, if that's what it is, and everything else. Looks pretty decent, and yeah, I certainly like it in terms of what it's got underneath. Yes, it might well be only rear-wheel drive, but in terms of its engine, it's pretty incredible, really. 1,086 horsepower, 1,054 pounds-feet of torque from a 6.8 litre turbocharged and supercharged V8 engine. So yeah, that's quite a lot of power, to be fair, and that's more than a standard Bugatti Veyron. So yeah, incredible amount of power there, and yeah, I think this is one of only a few cars on this game where a car has turbocharging and supercharging. I think only the Lancia Delta S4, its road-going version, and the rally version are the only two other cars that have turbocharging and supercharging on this game. It's really not a common kind of thing to do, really. But yeah, it's obviously produced plenty of power for this car, and yeah, obviously being rear-wheel drive with that amount of power is probably going to make it a bit hairy, as everyone saw on Top Gear when it burst into flames. But yeah, interior wise, like I said, I like the interior, especially with all this yellow stitching, etc. It gives it a little bit of a unique look. Even though it's only rear wheel drive, it does have a flappy paddle gearbox, so yeah, it's at least you know, on par with Ferrari and Lamborghini on that front, though it obviously has far more power than any Ferrari outside of the FXK or whatever it's called, based on the Ferrari. So yeah, it's power wise far ahead of Lamborghini and Ferrari, but whether or not it's going to be able to handle anything like that kind of power, we're just going to have to see. So yeah, going to take it out to the circuit, so see you when we get there. Right, let's see what this Danish supercar can do. So yeah, rear wheel drive only doesn't give it the best launch ever, especially considering all the power it's got, and it does have quite basic suspension underneath. Certainly not the kind that you'd expect from a car with more than 1,000 horsepower. So it doesn't quite have the kind of grip that you'd expect, because a lot of cars that have this kind of power have either all-wheel drive or they've got, you know, deployable spoilers and splitters, etc. like that, and this doesn't really have any of that. It's got a fixed spoiler, but it's not the biggest thing in the world, and it certainly doesn't have much up the front. So yeah, really rather quite basic, quite frankly, but that's sort of a charming thing, quite frankly. A lot of cars these days have all the computers in the world, they have all the handling in the world, they have all the gizmos you could ever ask for to just try and keep the car in the straight and narrow, not into a hedge. But this, with its basic approach, it's a really rather large V8, which is ridiculous, quite frankly. It sounds pretty good though, especially considering it's got the turbocharging and supercharging, which you might expect to overwhelm the noise of the engine, but it doesn't, quite frankly. I don't even quite frankly can hear the supercharger or the turbochargers. It's pretty good, quite frankly. Yeah, oh dear. Yeah, the brakes aren't the best either. Oh, and if you do slam on the accelerator when you like that situation just then, will try and spin out. But that makes it a bit of a dangerous thing, and quite frankly I think that makes it a really rather kind of fun car to have. Obviously it's not going to be the quickest car in this kind of class, because like I said, it doesn't have the handling, doesn't have the technology that plenty of other cars have. But in terms of sheer thrills and the kind of a challenge, it's really rather up there. And yeah, I'm really glad the fact you put it on the game, because it is one of those, you know, kind of supercars that are quite rare. Like I said, only 15 were ever made in the 7 years it was being produced. So yeah, rare supercar, a bit unusual, not all that sophisticated, but generally a kind of fun car that has plenty of power, plenty of speed. I mean, 0 to 16 3 seconds, 0 to 105.314 seconds, going up to a top speed of 235 mile an hour is not bad whatsoever. And that 0 to 60 time for a rear-wheel drive car with more than 1,000 horsepower is pretty incredible when you consider a Bugatti is only a fraction quicker, and that was all-wheel drive. So yeah, solid all-round car. Kind of like it for its driving characteristics. Not a massive fan of the looks, but it is generally a fun car to drive, and I'm glad that it's in the game because, again, more unique cars, better car list. So yeah, really glad it's in the game. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.